Have you ever looked at your child and felt something close to hate? I didn't think I was capable of that. Then Zoe, my 16-year-old daughter, framed her little brother for stealing $3,000, the only money standing between us and a clean apartment without mold creeping up the walls. After the divorce, I worked double shifts at the hospital, scraping together every dollar. The kids knew how important that money was. Zoe always seemed like the perfect teen. She made dinner, helped Ethan with homework, and slipped granola bars in my scrubs. "You're working too hard, Mom," she'd say. Ethan was 9, sweet but struggling. ADHD made school tough. Teachers called weekly, but he had this tender heart, always saving the blue gummy bears because he knew I liked them. Last Tuesday, I went to grab the rent money from my purse. Gone. Every dollar I'd hidden in the tampon box. My stomach turned. I found Ethan playing Minecraft. "Did you take it?" I asked. His face flushed. "No, Mom, I didn't," but he wouldn't meet my eyes. He'd taken a few bills before, a 5 here, a 20 there. We talked about it, worked through it, but this? Zoe walked in still in her Burger King uniform. "I found these in his backpack." She held out 3 crisp $100 bills. My heart sank. Ethan's eyes went wide. "That's not mine." Then she showed me his browser history, videos about a new gaming console, said he'd been to the mall with his friend Josh. It looked bad. I snapped, called him a liar, a thief, told him he'd ruined everything. He cried so hard he couldn't breathe. I sent him to his room. That night, I passed the bathroom and heard Zoe whispering on the phone. "Yeah, I got it." She totally blamed him. "I'll bring it tomorrow." Just like we planned. My blood ran cold. Next morning, I called in sick. Followed Zoe after she left. She didn't go to school. She walked to a Quick Mart and met an older guy in a dented Honda. She handed him something. He kissed her. I snapped a photo, hands shaking. That night, I showed her the picture. She crumbled. Confessed everything. Her boyfriend, 22, had convinced her to steal for their fresh start in Arizona. She'd been skimming cash for weeks. The big haul, my rent stash, was for their getaway. "Why frame your brother?" I asked, barely breathing. She looked straight at me and said, "Because you always believe the worst about him anyway." That broke me. She was right. I checked Ethan's backpack while he slept. She'd planted the cash, just enough to make it believable. Now Ethan barely speaks. He flinches when I reach for a hug. His counselor says it might take months, maybe more. Zoe's living with my sister. Her boyfriend, facing charges. Turns out he'd done the same with other girls. Got them to steal, then left them behind. Last week, Ethan actually laughed at a joke I made. First time in 2 months. We were in the hospital break room. I'd brought him to work because he didn't want to be alone. The nurses gave him pudding cups. He smiled when Dr. Rivera walked by in flamingo scrubs. It was small, but I held on to it. Some nights I cry over what I did to my son. Other nights, I hate Zoe. Not just for what she did, but for showing me the kind of mother I really was. We never got the money back. Her boyfriend blew it on a motorcycle, crashed it 2 days later. But what I lost, Ethan's trust, was worth far more. And the worst part? There's still a tiny sick voice in the back of my mind that wonders, what if Ethan really did take it? That voice is what keeps me up at night.